Two balls, one strike to David Washington. Brent Taylor misses down and away. Swing and a miss. David Washington. Three balls, two strikes. Three balls and two strikes to David Washington. Three-two misses to David Washington. Washington moved down to first base on the walk. Gotta bring up Alexis Almeida. Brent Taylor. Ball is low to Almeida. 1-0 Honey Hunters on a Braxton Davidson solo home run in the second inning. Fastball from Brent Taylor, and it fouls it away is Almeida, and it's 1-1. Here in the top of the second, David Washington drew a walk. He's on first base with one out. The 1-1 to Almeida is in the air for a call strike. It's 1-2. Brent Taylor trying to roll up a double play here for the Barnstormers. The pitch bounced in the dirt, and a great stomp by Jack Conley to keep David Washington from advancing to second base. Count levels at 2-2 to Almeida. Game one of the Atlantic League Championship Series. The Honey Hunters trying to win this game to go up 1-0. Did he go around? Check swing. No, he didn't. He didn't go, says the first base umpire, and it's a full count to Almeida. Jake Hoover on deck. He's a late pickup for Gastonia. Got picked up earlier in the season. Ground is short. Booted by Jason Cook. Get the force out at second base. So David Washington is gone. But Almeida is at first base with 2 outs and a fielder's choice. Jason Cook mishandled it, but was able to get the out at second base. 2 outs and a man on first for Jake Hoover. Former Lancaster Barnstormer coming back here to the championship. Brent Taylor's first pitch. It's right in the corner for a called strike. First pitch slider, 0-1. Jake Hoover wearing number 4. The 0-1 swing and a grounded to right field Almeida will stop at second base, and Jake Hoover has a weak base hit, a weak blooper base hit. And that brings up Jack Reinheimer, the top of the order for the Honey Hunters. Jack Reinheimer came to Gastonia halfway through the season, or three-fourths through the season, as he had a fly ball to the left fielder his first time up. Played with the Honey Hunters last season too. Slider down and away, and Reinheimer bats at 1-0. Kevin Santa due next, the Gastonia's second baseman. Almeida at second base, Jake Hoover at first. The 1-0 pitch to Reinheimer is a slider on the inside corner part of the plate for a strike one. Brent Taylor trying to strain that second run of the inning at second base. Here's the 1-1 down in the dirt. Good block by Conley. It's 2-1 to Jack Reinheimer. Reinheimer played with the Gastonia Honey Hunters last year. Reinheimer is up in the count 2-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a line drive to left field. Proctor's under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. But the Honey Hunters get a home run from Braxton Davidson to right center. And the Honey Hunters lead through an inning and a half, 1-0. We head to the bottom of the second inning. It's the Honey Hunters 1, Lancaster 0. You're listening to the Atlantic League Championship Series Game 1. We'll be right back right after this. We are back, and Lancaster comes up to bat in the bottom of the second inning. It's Ariel Sandoval, first pitch missing outside. It is 1-0. Sandoval waits the second pitch. Here it is. Swinging a ground ball to third base, booted by Jake Hoover. And Sandoval will reach first base. It's an error charged to Jake Hoover. First error of the ball game for either team. That's how the Honey Hunters start this. That's how the Lancaster Barnstormers start the bottom of the second inning here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. So an error for Jake Hoover. Here's Chris Proctor. First pitch. Swinging a foul third base side. Back to the screen. Chris Proctor playing left field today. Proctor bats in a 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Down low, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Chris Proctor. Chad Setio on deck. The 1-1 offering missing just outside for a ball 2. 2-1. Zach Westcott. Here's the 2-1, and it's swung on a miss for a strike 2. Good off-speed pitch right there. Westcott trying to strike Proctor out. Here's the 2-2 from Westcott. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss by Chris Proctor. Westcott strikes out him in his first plate appearance. Here's Chad Setio. Zach Westcott. Chad Setio steps in, and he was 0 for 3 in one of the 3 games in the divisional series. First pitch missing outside. Second pitch fouled away. Zach Westcott is even in the count 1-1 to Setio. The 1-1. Ground ball off the glove of the first baseman, David Washington, and into right. Kevin Santa tried to throw it over to first, but nobody was there as the pitcher, Westcott, didn't get over there in time. And David Washington was trying to go for the ball. So there's 2 on and 1 man out. 2 errors. 2 errors committed by Gastonia. Here's Jack Conley now with Sandoval and Setio on first and second. First pitch from Westcott. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1 to Jack Conley. Trace Lair will probably get a chance at the bat if Jack Conley does not ground into the double play here. 1 out, 2 men on, bottom second. Gastonia leads 1-0 on a Braxton Davidson home run. Ground ball, base hit, left field. Around comes Sandoval. De La Rosa fires home, and he's safe. Sandoval scores an RBI base hit by Jack Conley, and the Barnstormers tie this game up at 1 in the second inning. Good piece of hitting there by Jack Conley. Every time, that's an automatic run for the Lancaster Barnstormers. But it was hard hit, and the left fielder had to throw it on line to get Sandoval, but it was a little bit offline, so Sandoval scored, and it's 1-1. 1 out, bottom second. Still runners at first and second. Setio at second, Conley at first, 1 out. Trace Lair. Swing a drive! Deep right! Way back! At the wall, and the walls will not contain it. That stayed in play. Never mind. Stayed in play, and Setio scores. It's an RBI single for Trace Lair. What a drive. But barely missed the 3-run home run to give the Lancaster Barnstormers a 4-1 lead instead of a long RBI single for Trace Lair as Setio scores. That'll bring up the top of the order in Melvin Mercedes. Melvin Mercedes steps in, 1 man out, still 2 men on. First pitch strike. We already have action here in Lancaster. Trace Lair crushed that ball, but it stayed in. 1 strike to Melvin. He fouls it back. It's 0-2. Westcott has given up 2 runs in the inning. 0-2 to Melvin. Conley on second base. Now to Mercedes, chopped to second base. Santa charging in, and he's out at first base. Melvin Mercedes does not like that, and he is telling the first base umpire he doesn't like it. He thought he was in there. And there's 2 men on. 2 men out and 2 runners in scoring position. Melvin Mercedes thought he was safe. And the first base umpire says, "No, you aren't." He called him out. There's 2 men out. Here's Coca. Here's Coca now. Trace Lair on second base. Jack Conley at third. Jason Coca. Strike on the inside corner from Westcott. Westcott 0-1 pitch to Coca. Poked foul, third base side. Oh and 2. We got action earlier here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. 2 men waiting in score position. Jack Conley and Trace Lair. 0-2 outside from Westcott, ball 1. The Barnstormers trying to get 4 runs on the board in the bottom of the second inning against a really good Honey Hunter team. And Coca takes a fastball inside, 2-2. Bottom of the order coming through for Lancaster, driving in the runs. 2-2 to Coca. Westcott's pitch, swinging a foul, third base side. We'll continue at this at bat at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runs in, a bunch of 2s on the board, 2 runs in scoring position. 2-2 to Coca. Here it is from Westcott. Line left center. A late start by Jared, and he runs it down. With the Barnstormers get 2 unearned runs. 2 hits, 2 errors, 2 runs, and 2 left for the Barnstormers here in the bottom of the second inning. We head to the top of the third inning, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It's Lancaster 2, Gastonia 1. You're listening to the Atlantic League Championship Series, Game 1. We'll be right back after this. We're back, and Kevin Santa will lead it off. Brent Teller throws a strike, and it's 0-1 to Santa. Kevin Santa, there's a bunt, push foul. It's 0-2. So quickly, Brent Teller trying to strike out Santa for the first out of the inning. He had 4 home runs in the season. 0-2 to Santa, missing high. The 0-2, the 1-2, swinging a chopper, foul third base side. Kevin Santa, Jason Rogers, and Zach Jarrett awaiting. 1-2 down in the dirt. 2-2 from Brent Teller. Good block by Conley. We're in the third inning. 2-1 Lancaster after the 2-run inning. 2-2 right on the corner for a called strike 3. Kevin Santa is called out on strikes. On the outside corner, here's Zach Jarrett. One out in the Brent Teller strikeout. Here's Zach Jarrett. First pitch. Right there for a called strike. And it's 0-1. 0-1 the center fielder, Zach Jarrett. Fouled back at the plate. 0-2. Brent Teller is starting to settle in here in the third inning, as we win 0-2 to the first 2 batters of the inning. Struck out Santa on a backdoor breaking ball. It is 0-2 to Jarrett, the 0-2. Just missing on a fastball just outside. And it's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 1-2 in the air to the right side. Cordero goes back in the fairground, makes the play. Andretti Cordero makes the play in fairground. And Zach Jarrett is out for the second out of the inning. Here's Jason Rogers. Had a heck of a series against the High Point Rockers in the divisional series. He had 2 home runs in the deciding game, Game 5. First pitch outside, ball 1, no strikes to Rogers. 1-0. In there for a called strike in the inside corner. And it's 1-1 to Rogers. Here it is. Just missing with a fastball. Just inside. The fans don't like it. So here's the 2-1 to Rogers. Swinging a chopper. Foul. Count even up at 2. 2-2 to Rogers. 2 outs. Top of the third. Heck of a series for Rogers against High Point. 2-2 way outside. Missing. 3-2 full count to Rogers now. Braxton Davidson's on the DH tonight. The only run for the Gastonia Honey Hunters came on a home run from Braxton Davidson as Rogers lines to left field for a base hit. Chris Proctor throws it back in. And Jason Rogers is on first base with a 2-out single. Here's the man who gave the Gastonia Honey Hunters a 1-0 lead. Braxton Davidson. He had a home run to right center. his first at bat. Didn't miss a beat on that pitch. 2 outs and Jason Rogers on first base. Brent Teller trying to get out of this. Top of the third inning. First pitch to Davidson. Just missing. Off the inside corner for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0 to Davidson. Teller's 1-0 pitch. In there for a called strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. So there were quickly 2 outs for Brent Taylor. Now he's having a struggle here. It's the 1-1 to Davidson swing and a high pop up. Out of getting the seats. And it's 1-2. 1-2 to Davidson. Brent Teller trying to get out of an inning. Get the Barnstormers bats going into the bottom of the third. Here's the 1-2. Jason Rogers on first base. The 1-2. Slider missing. Doesn't get the call from the home plate umpire. And it's 2-2 to Braxton Davidson. He stays alive. He bats at a 2-2 count, 2 outs, and a man on top of the third. The 2-2 swing and a foul. Braxton Davidson still fighting to try and get on base for the Hunting Hunters. Barnstormer fans thought he should have been struck out for the third out of the inning. But the home plate umpire called it a ball. Here's the 2-2 once more. High and tight. Davidson gets out of the way. And the count's full at 3-2. Jason Rogers will be on the move from first base. The full count, swing and a miss. Good changeup from Brent Teller. No runs on a hit, no errors for the Honey Hunters. We're ahead of the bottom of the third. Lancaster leads at 2-1. You're listening to Game 1 of the Atlantic League Championship Series. We'll be right back right after this. First pitch to Andretti Cordero. Bouncer. Jake Hoover throws over to first, but he's out. Jake Hoover throws it in time to first base. David Washington to get Cordero. 1 out in the bottom of the third. Here, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, with the Barnstormers leading 2-1. Here's Garcia. Zach Westcott struck him out in the first inning. First pitch, up and away, ball one to Garcia. The 1-0, Garcia's fooled, and he's swinging a miss. 1-1. There's one out on an Andretti Cordero ground out. Looked like Zach Westcott just threw a knuckleball. It came in as a strike. It is 1-2, swing and a miss. Zach Westcott strikes out Garcia for the second time in the game. Here's Ariel Sandoval, number 15. He bats at 2 outs and nobody on. He bats with 2 outs and nobody on, bottom third. First pitch from Westcott, missing outside. 1-0 to Sandoval. Sandoval trying to get that second hit of the postseason. 1-1. Now, as that pitch was called a strike, Sandoval only has one hit in the postseason, trying to get that second one. Here's the 1-1 from Westcott. Knuckleball, and it's lifted to right field. Davidson over, and he makes the play. That'll end the third inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. A ground out by Cordero, and that's the inning. We head to the fourth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Lancaster leading 2-1. The first game of the ALPB Championship Series. We'll be right back right at this. We're back, and Eric De La Rosa steps in for the Honey Hunters. Takes a first pitch strike from Brent Teller. The 0-1, just missing breaking ball. And it's a ball strike to Eric De La Rosa. The 1-1. A backdoor slider, and it catches the inside edge for a strike two. Lancaster leading by one in the top of the fourth in game one of the Atlantic League Championship Series. 1 ball, 2 strikes, pitch. Scooped up by Jack Conley as that one was in the dirt. 2-2 to De La Rosa. 2-1 Lancaster, top of the fourth, 2-2 to De La Rosa for the Honey Hunters. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Brent Taylor chalks up strikeout number 3 as David Washington steps in. So Teller ran it up and in on De La Rosa, and he swung at it for the third strikeout of the game for Teller. 1 gone, top of the fourth. David Washington steps in. First pitch to Washington. Missing high and outside. Ball 1. The heavy hitter of David Washington up in the count. Swinging a bouncer back to the pitcher Brent Teller, and he throws over to Cordero. And Washington barely running down the line. He is the second out of the inning. He barely ran down the line. Alexis Olmeda steps in. First pitch. High and outside. Swinging by uh, by the third batter of the inning, Alexis Olmeda. 1-1, missing outside. 2-1 to Olmeda. Strikeout of De La Rosa and a ground out by Washington. 2-1 to Olmeda down in the dirt. 3-1. Brent Teller trying to get through the inning with nobody on base. It'll be the first time he's done it in this game. 3 balls and a strike to Alexis. Swinging a pop up center field. This way in the inning, the center fielder's under it, makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Brent Taylor. Brent Teller. We had the bottom of the fourth inning. Lancaster leads it 2-1 in game one of the Atlantic League Championship Series. We'll be right back right after this. We're back, and the Barnstormers are back in The bottom of the fourth, up 2-1 over the Gastonia Honey Hunters here in the first game of the Atlantic League Championship Series. The Barnstormers trying to go back to back. Here's Chris Proctor. He steps in the box to face Zach Westcott for the second time. Struck out back in the second inning. 1 of 3 by Westcott. Westcott gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, missing low. It's 1-0 to Proctor. Ball 1 pitch. Ball 2 away, 2-0. So good start here by Proctor. The 2-0. Swinging line drive to the left field base hit. Right field base hit. The right fielder Davidson picks it up, throws over to the second baseman. He'll throw it back in. Chris Proctor with the leadoff base hit to right. That's the way you want to start the inning. Here's Chad Setio. Proctor's held by David Washington at first base. Westcott's first pitch, missing inside. Sorry. Takes a strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. Westcott's 0-1 pitch to Setio. Down low, ball 1-1. Count even. Chris Proctor with the leadoff base hit to right field. It's the way you want to start the inning. 1-1 pitch, upstairs, 2-1 to Setio. 2-1, Chad Setio. 2-1 from Westcott. Swinging a foul back. 2-2, even up. The 2-2 to Setio. Offering his loop to left, but De La Rosa makes the catch, runs on, makes the catch for run 1, and Proctor will have to go back to first base. And Conley steps in. Jack Conley stepping in. Number 28. Conley. First pitch from Westcott. Missing just low, ball 1. Jack Conley with the leadoff man at first base. Chris Proctor. Jack Conley, 1-0 pitch. Popped it up. First baseman Washington sprinting over. Almeida sprinting over to the backstop and makes the catch. So pop out to the catcher for Jack Conley. Bring up Trace Lair. Hit a long single. But 2 outs now with Chris Proctor at second base. Bottom of the fourth. Trace Lair looks at a ball onside, ball 1. 1-0 to Lair now. 2 out and a man on first base. Lancaster leads this game 2-1. 1-0 to Trace Lair. Takes a strike. Right down the middle, even up at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike to Lair. Pops it up. Shallow left. Jake Hoover is back, but De La Rosa calls everyone off and makes the catch. No errors on a man left. We head to the top of the 5th. It's Barnstormers 2, the Honey Hunters 1. Here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. You're listening to Game 1 of the Atlantic League Championship Series here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. We'll be right back right after this. Brent Teller is in the 5th inning, top of the 5th. He'll face Jake Hoover, started off. First pitch missing outside. Here's the 1-0 pitch, fouled back. Out of play, right side. 1-1 to Hoover. He was a long-time Barnstormer. Played with the Barnstormers last year. 1-1, cracked out to center. Back goes Ariel Sandoval, turns around, hits the wall, and Jake Hoover is into single with lead, into second base with a leadoff double. Jake Hoover got all of that ball, sent it to center field for a leadoff double. Over the head of the center fielder. The Honey Hunters have the tying run and scoring position, nobody out. So Brent Taylor in some trouble in the 5th inning. Jack Reinheimer stands in, chop it at third base. Left side to Coca. Throws over to first, not in time. The the first base umpire says Reinheimer is safe. So the speed of Reinheimer gets him safe for first base, and Hoover goes over to third base. Here's Kevin Santa now. With runners on first and third, nobody out. Gastonia threatening. So now Teller is in a sticky situation. Nobody out. Runs on first and third. Top of the fifth, and Santa stepping. First pitch to Santa. He bunts. Foul. And we got something happening with the managers here in Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Lancaster manager Ross Peoples thought Santa ran into the ball while it was foul. But he bats in a 0-1 count. Brent Teller, the 0-1 missing way high. It's 1-1. The best the Brent Teller can do is either get a strikeout or a double play and a run score, or a strikeout and a double play. The 1-1 pitch to Santa's fouled away. And it's 1-2. Runners on first and third for the Honey Hunters. 1-2 fired and poked foul once more. Lancaster gets up in the bullpen. That's a left-hander. 1-2 to Santa from Teller. Fouled back. The battle's still going on between Teller and Santa. Kevin Santa trying to get a run in for the Honey Hunters to try and tie this game up to 1-2, missing low in the dirt. Good stop by Conley. 2-2, top of the fifth. Runners on first and third. The Barnstormers leading this game 2-1. Nobody out. Honey Hunters threatening. Brent Taylor is in trouble here. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Kevin Santa. Right on the corner for a called strike 3. The same place he struck out last time on the corner. A slider on a backside slider on the corner for a called strike 3. And Santa goes back to the dugout. Brent Teller faces Zach Jarrett now. A tough hitter to strike out. See if he can do it here. First pitch, fastball inside for strike 1, catch the inside corner. Zach Jarrett trying to tie this game up. Brent Teller trying to roll a double play. The 0-1, here it is. Bouncing ball, third base side. The second Mercedes, and the throw bounces free from Cordero at first base. A tie game is the result of an error. Even if the error wasn't occurred, Zach Jarrett would have beat that out. We're tied at 2 here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. 2 outs and man on first base, Zach Jarrett. No error on the play, though. Force out 5-4. Brings up Jason Rogers. He's 0 for 2. First pitch. Just missing inside to Jason Rogers. And it's 1-0. 2 outs and a run in. 2-2 in the 5th inning here. Jason Rogers. Takes the 1-0 pitch for a strike. It's 1-1. Braxton Davidson on deck for the Honey Hunters. Brent Teller trying not to give the Honey Hunters the lead here. 2 outs and a 1-1 count to Jason Rogers. Taylor looks in for the sign, gets set. And the pitch. 1-1 fastball in there for a called strike. Jason Rogers is on the verge of striking out. It's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a run in. We're tied at 2 in the top of the 5th. And Rogers looking at a strike 3 on the outside corner, looking at a fastball. And that'll win the inning. But the Honey Hunters get a run. We're tied at 2, headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's going to be a good game, folks. You're listening to Game 1 of the Atlantic League Championship Series here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The Barnstormers coming to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll be right back right after this. We head to the bottom of the 5th here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Zach Westcott will face Melvin Mercedes. First pitch missing high, 1-0. Curveball in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. We're in the 5th inning of a good game, tied at 2. And the 1-1 is look like a knuckleball there from Westcott. Catches the outside corner for strike 2. Mercedes just looking at it. Here's the 1-2. Swings late, grounds and foul, third base side. Zach Westcott settled in here. Bottom of the 5th, trying to get through 5 innings to save that designated hitter. 1-2. Liner out to left field. Taylor Rose is there, comes in, makes a play for number 1. So a line out for Melvin Mercedes to start the 5th inning for the Barnstormers. And Jason Coca will step in after the line out by Mercedes. Westcott looking pretty good so far in the game. Andretti Cordero, the 100-plus RBI in the regular season, waiting on deck. First pitch fouled, played, it's 0-1 to Coca. Here's the 0-1 from Westcott. Breaking ball onside. 1-1. One ball, one strike. Lower half of the fifth inning, tie ball game. The 1-1 fouled back by Coca, and he's down in the count 1-2. Tied at 2 in the lower half of the fifth inning, one out here in Lancaster. The 1-2 from Westcott's line foul. Coca remains down in the count 1-2. Here's the pitch from Westcott. Swing, and Almeida couldn't hold on to it. And its count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strike pitch. Breaking ball, grounded to first base. Washington wins the foot race to first base, and Coca is out on a ground ball to Washington. Here's the 100-plus RBI man regular season. Led the league in RBIs. Andretti Cordero. He'll face Westcott for the second time. Westcott's first pitch to Andretti. Did he go? Yes, he did. Couldn't hold up on the check swing. And it's 0-1. Zach Westcott trying to get through 5 innings. Andretti Cordero trying to extend the inning for the Barnstormers. Low for a ball, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Down in the dirt. Good stop by Almeida. And Cordero's batting at 2 balls and 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike pitch from Westcott. Way outside. 3-1. So a hitter's count to Cordero. It is 3-1. Outside, ball 4, and Cordero draws a walk. His second walk of the ball game, and Wilson Garcia steps in. Zach Westcott struck him out twice, trying to strike him out for a third time in the ball game. Cordero walks down to first base, his second walk of the game. And Garcia trying to get something going against Westcott, which he hasn't done today so far. He's over 2 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch, swing and a foul. It's 0-1. Wilson Garcia against Westcott. Timing completely off. Looks like. Westcott gets a new ball from the home plate umpire. And we'll do it in an 0-1. 0-1 to Garcia. Zach Westcott trying to get out of the fifth inning. 1 strike pitch to Garcia. He grounds it to second base Santa. Over to Jack Reinheimer and the Honey Hunters. Honey Hunters get a double play. Reinheimer steps on second base, throws over to first to Washington. That'll end the bottom of the fifth. We had a top half of the sixth inning, game tied at 2. You're listening to the first game of the Atlantic League Championship Series here at Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We'll be right back right after this. We're back in the top of the sixth inning, game tied at 2. Braxton Davidson steps in. Brent Taylor's still out there. Still there for the Barnstormers. Ground ball to Cordero, snares it and throws over to the pitcher. Taylor, who's running over there at first base and gets the out on Braxton Davidson. So quick start, sixth inning for the Barnstormers. There's a line drive that's snared by Cordero by Davidson. Cordero threw over to the pitcher covering. Got the out. Here's Eric De La Rosa. Brent Teller's still out there for the Lancaster Barnstormers. One out, nobody on, and De La Rosa shows bunt. And he pulls back, and it's a ball. Ball one. No strikes. Teller got out of the fifth inning. Had a little bit of trouble. De La Rosa swings and drives it out to left field. Extra base hit for De La Rosa, and Chris Proctor having trouble with it. Around third goes De La Rosa. And cut down on the relay is De La Rosa trying to go to third. He's out of third. Good relay there by the left fielder who gets it into the cutoff man who throws over to third base to get the out. Chris Proctor threw to the cutoff man. Cutoff man threw to third base, and De La Rosa wasn't fast enough. And he got the out. Here comes Gusgazzo out to talk. And it looks like the umpires are sticking to their call. It's 0-1 to 0-1 David Washington. As the umpires are sticking to their call, and Gusgazzo goes back to the dugout, swinging a miss. Teller's ahead 0-2 on Washington. What a play that was by Proctor to get it to the cutoff man, as he had a little trouble out there in left field with it. The 0-2 Washington just misses low. Washington's still in there. Count is now 1 ball, 2 strikes. What a play by Proctor there. He had a little trouble with it, but got it to the cutoff man in time to gun De La Rosa down at third base. 1-2 down in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to David Washington. 2-2 way outside. 3-2 now. Lexus Soulmate of the catcher on deck. Brent Teller went 5 1/3 last week. He's went 5 2/3 this week. Let's see if he can get through 6 innings. 3-2 missing low, and David Washington comes back 2 to draw a walk. 3-2. After he had him 1-2, Teller misses with 3 straight pitches, and he gives up a walk to Washington. Here's Alexis Olmeda, the catcher. Olmeda, first pitch. Did it go around? He did not go around. Vincenzo Mariani, the first base umpire, says no. Olmeda bats in a 1-0 count. 2 outs, and the Barnstormers will get some action in the bullpen. 1-0 fly ball to center field, whacks it to left center, and over goes Ariel Sandoval to make the catch. Barnstormers keep the game tied in the 6th inning, 2-2. We head to the bottom of the 6th. You're listening to the Atlantic League Championship Series Game 1 from Lancaster, PA. We're right back right after this. We're back in the bottom of the 6th inning, game tied at 2. First game of the Atlantic League Championship Series between the Honey Hunters and the Barnstormers. We fight for a chance to win a championship. The Barnstormers trying to go back to back. Here's Sandoval. Zach Westcott throws a slow breaking ball in there for a strike 1. Excuse me. Slow breaking ball in there for a call strike 1. It's 0-1 to Sandoval. Looks like a slow curveball there. A knuckleball. 0-1 to Sandoval, the pitch. Threw it again, and Sandoval pops it up to center field. Zach Jarrett makes the play, gets under it, catches it. There's one gone. Here's Proctor. Chris Proctor is 1 for 2 with a single to right. Zach Westcott, first pitch, driven down the left field line, barely foul down to the hill. And fans fight for the ball. And Proctor bats in an 0-1 count. Bottom of the 6th, tied at 2, 1 out. The 0-1 and down in the dirt. Proctor has to move out of the way of that one. Westcott at 85 pitches. 1-1. Ground ball to second baseman Santa, throws over to Washington for the out. So Proctor grounds out to Kevin Santa, the second baseman, who throws over to first David Washington. First baseman David Washington, and they get the out, second out of the inning in the 6th. Quickly 2 gone for Zach Westcott. Chad Setio swings and misses. 0-1. Fastball. Good fastball there. Zach Westcott pitching well tonight. Breaking ball missing in the dirt. 1-1. 2-2. Bottom of the 6th. On deck is Jack Conley. Chad Setio 1-1. Missing. 2-1 to Setio. 2 balls, 1 strike. Barnstormers trying to get the lead so Teller would be in line for the win. Westcott missing outside once again at 3-1. The 3-1 to Setio. Spoiled foul. 3-2. Full count. 2 outs. 2-2 tie. Bottom of the 6th here at Lancaster. Chad Setio. Zach Westcott. Zach Westcott's pitch outside, ball 4, and Setio is on with the walk. The third walk of the game, 2 by Cordero and 1 by Setio. And that'll bring up Jack Conley. Goose Gazzo's going to the pen. We'll be right back right after this. That's all for Westcott. Goose Gazzo's going to the pen. We'll be back right after this. We're back, and Honey Hunters go to the bullpen. It's number 15, Trent Fennell. After a 2-out walk to Chad Setio, Zach Westcott is out of the game. Trent Fennell, the right-hander, will face Jack Conley to try and get out of the inning. 2-2 tie and a pitching change by Goose Gazzo as he calls on the new right-handed pitcher to try and get out Jack Conley. Trent Fennell's first pitch. Outside for ball one, breaking ball. 5 2/3 for Zach Westcott. 3 singles, 2 walks, no earned runs. As those runs were unearned. And Trent Fennell's 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Westcott struck out 3 in his 5 2/3 of work. Conley popped it up. Trent Fennell tells everybody off, and Jake Hoover makes the play. No runs, no hits, no errors. As Trent Fennell told everyone that was a pop-up. Hoover Hoover got it, and that'll win the inning. You're listening to the first game of the Atlantic League Championship Series. We'll be right back right after this. We're back in the sixth inning. Sorry, the seventh inning, top of the seventh, tied at 2. It'll be Mike Adams out of the bullpen for Ross Peoples as he calls on the bullpen for the first time tonight. Quality start by Brent Teller, giving up 2 runs though. But he went 6 innings, 2 runs, as Jake Hoover, first batter of the 7th inning, grounds out to Cordero for out number 1. Good start by Mike Adams. Now back to the top of the order, and Jack Reinheimer. 2-2, top of the 7th, 1 man out. First pitch to Reinheimer's fouled back. Reinheimer couldn't catch up to the fastball there. 0-1. Mike Adams is set. The 0-1 coming to Reinheimer. Just missing off the corner of the plate. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the 7th inning. The 1-1 check swing, but it was called strike anyway. And it's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mike Adams trying to strike out Reinheimer. Already 1 out in the inning. Did he go around? He did not go around, and Reinheimer holds up on a high fastball. 2-2. Excuse me. Adams pitch. Reinheimer pulls it down the left field line. Foul. We'll do it again at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Reinheimer. Man out. Tied at 2 in the top of the 7th inning. Mike Adams trying to get Reinheimer out. 2-2 right there for a called strike 3. Reinheimer thought it was below the zone, and the umpire calls it a strike. Calls him out on strikes for the second out of the inning. Second out of the 7th inning is Reinheimer. And he doesn't like the call, but it'll go back to the dugout. Here is David Washington. First pitch. Missing low. In the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to the third batter to hit in the inning. Sorry, this is Kevin Santa. Swinging a foul. Kevin Santa. My mistake. 2-1 to Santa, 2 outs. Top of the 7th, tied at 2. Mike Adams trying to retire the side in order. 2-1 to Santa. Swinging a line drive left field. Chris Proctor is right there making the catch. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Barnstormers in the inning. No runs for the Honey Hunters, no hits for the Honey Hunters, and no errors committed by the Barnstormers in the top half of the 7th inning. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, tied at 2. The Honey Hunters 2, the Barnstormers 2. You're listening to Game 1 of the Atlantic League Championship Series. We're right back right after this. We're back, and the Barnstormers are up to bat in the bottom of the seventh inning. Trace Layer will face a new pitcher for Goose Gazzo and the Honey Hunters. It'll be Stephon Moore as he gets Lair to pop up to Zach Jarrett in center field. That's the first out of the bottom of the seventh. Tied at 2 in the lower half of the seventh inning here. Clipper Magazine Stadium. So that second pitch fly out brings up Melvin Mercedes. First pitch to Mercedes. Misses low. Stephon Moore. It's 1-0. 1-0 from Moore. Bounces. Good stop by Almeida. He gets a new ball from the umpire, and it's a 2-0 count to Melvin. Bottom of the seventh, 1 out, nobody on, and 2-0 count to Melvin Mercedes. Stephon Moore. Down in the dirt once again. It's 3-0 to Melvin. So after the pop up by Lair, Moore's falling behind. 3-0 to Mercedes. The 3-0 pitch. Inside, ball 4 in the first. And Melvin goes down to first base. Here is Coca. It's a 1-out walk for Melvin Mercedes and a 4-pitch walk by Stephon Moore. Here's Jason Coca, the switch hitter. He'll bat right. He'll bat right against the left-hander out of the bullpen, Stephon Moore. Mercedes drew a 4-pitch walk, a 1-out 4-pitch walk in the seventh inning here. First pitch to Coca, swing and a miss by Coca. Mercedes goes to second, and a good throw by Almeida gets him at second base. Ross Peoples tried to hit and run there, but no hit, and and a and a strike, and a good pop up by Almeida, and he gets him down to second base. Good throw. Gets Mercedes at second base. There's two men out, a 1 count to Coca. He fouls it back. 0-2. So Ross Peoples trying to go with the hit and run. Coca swung and missed at a high fastball. And Melvin got thrown out at second base. 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch from Stephon Moore, missing inside. 1-2. Good game, tying at 2 in the bottom of the seventh inning. 2 outs. Here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. This series is going to be a good one, folks. 2-2. Inside and low for ball 3. Sorry. It was 1-2. Now it's 2-2. 2 outs. 2-2 to Coca from Stephon Moore. Down in the dirt again. It's low from Moore. And Coca runs it full. On deck is the dangerous first baseman and Andretti Cordero. The 3-2 pitch to Jason Coca, bottom of the seventh, 2 outs. Payoff pitch, missing low for the ball 4. So good way to work the count by Coca. Draws the team's 5th walk of the night. In steps for the Barnstormers, Andretti Cordero. The heavy hitting first base. If you need a run, this man can drive it in. And Teddy Cordero was the RBI king in the regular season, led the league. Stephon Moore has 2 walks in the inning, but only one man on base right now as Mercedes got thrown out at second base. His first pitch to Cordero is low for a ball 1. So can't find Stephon Moore can't find the strike zone. And this inning of work, the 0-1 to Cordero. It's right there for a called strike. 1-1. Seems like everything from Moore's missing low and in the dirt, but it's 1-1 to Cordero. 1-1. Cordero swings it, pulls it foul. Third base side. Stephon Moore is one pitch away from getting out of the inning after struggling, giving up 2 walks. A pop up by Lair and a caught stealing by and Melvin was caught stealing. 2 outs after a walk and a walk by Coca, and now a 1-2 pitch to Cordero. He swings and misses. So another ball in the dirt that Cordero's swing and misses at. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 walks in the inning, but nothing comes across. We head to the top of the 8th inning, deadlocked at 2. We're right back right after this. We're back, and Ross Peoples calls back to his bullpen for Alfredi Gomez. Alfredi Gomez will face Zach Jarrett. Lead off in the top of the 8th inning, deadlocked at 2, swinging a miss. 0-2 at 2 fastballs from Gomez as Jarrett down in the count 0-2. 2-2 in the top of the 8th here in Lancaster. The 0-2 from Gomez. Did he go around? No, he didn't. Check swing. He didn't go around. It's 1-2. Alfredi Gomez. The second man out of the bullpen for Ross Peoples. 2-2. Deadlocked at 2 in the 8th inning. 2-2. Line drive in the center field for a base hit for Zach Jarrett. And the go-ahead run stands at first base with nobody out in the form of Zach Jarrett. Bring up Jason Rogers. First pitch to Jason Rogers. Ball one for Alfredo Gomez. Gomez trying to keep it tight at 2 here in the 8th inning. Nobody out. Jarrett on first base. Jason Rogers trying to give the Honey Hunters the lead. 1-0 pitch. Cold strike, take it at the knees. Good breaking ball there. Count evens up at 1. Alfredo Gomez. Jarrett goes. Pitches low. Jarrett goes, and the throw down to Melvin Mercedes covering second base is in time by Conley. Sorry. Yeah, Jack Conley. So throwing out Jarrett. And that might have ended a 8th inning threat. Alfredo Gomez will bring out a breaking ball that Rogers swings and misses at. It's 2-2. Zach Jarrett being thrown out at second base is huge for the Barnstormers. 2 balls, 2 strikes, swing and a miss by Jason Rogers. Alfredo Gomez gets his first strikeout of the night. After Ross Peoples calls on to him to keep it tight in the 8th inning. So it'll all be up to Braxton Davidson, who left the yard in the first inning. Sorry, in the second inning. He left the yard in the second inning to deep right center field. He has one of the Honey Hunter runs. First pitch to Davidson from Gomez. It's called for a strike. 2-1. Alfredo Gomez. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Alfredo Gomez has him in 0-2. Braxton Davidson. Eric De La Rosa will be the next man up as he's on deck. Davidson trying to extend the inning. 2 outs, 0-2 pitch. Alfredo bounces one to the backstop. Ball 1, 2 strikes to Davidson. Gomez trying to get out of the inning with no runs. Jarrett thrown out at second base. Rogers strikes out. Let's see what Davidson does. 1-2 to Davidson, fouls it back off the end of the bat. Almost taking out Eric De La Rosa, but he gets out of the way. If Davidson can extend the inning, De La Rosa gets a chance. Alfredo Gomez. The 1-2. 2 outs and a 2-2 deadlock tie. Swing and a miss. Gomez strikes out Rogers. Gomez strikes out Davidson at the end of the inning. So he strikes out Rogers, strikes out Davidson after giving up a no-out single. He gets Jarrett out at second base and gets Rogers to swing and miss, and now gets Davidson to swing and miss. We're deadlocked at 2, headed to the bottom of the 8th inning here in Lancaster. You're listening to the first game of the Atlantic League Championship Series. We're right back right after this. Welcome back. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Ryan Blanton takes over for the Honey Hunters as Garcia steps in. 2-0 to Garcia. 2-2 deadlock tie here in the bottom of the 8th inning here in Lancaster. 2-0 from Blanton is a strike. Ryan Blanton is the third man out of the bullpen for the Honey Hunters. Outside, that one gets to the backstop. 3 balls and a strike to Wilson Garcia. Good start here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Wilson Garcia is up in the count, 3-1. 3-1 on the way, fouled back, third base side. Ryan Blanton is the 4th pitcher used by Gastonia tonight. Wilson Garcia swinging a miss. Garcia rarely strikes out, but he struck out right there. It's 1 out. 1 out for the Barnstormers. Bottom of the 8th inning. 2-2 tie. Here is Sandoval. Ariel Sandoval. 2-2 tie, bottom of the 8th inning here in Game 1 of the Atlantic League Championship Series. The first pitch to Sandoval, way outside from Blanton. So it's 1-0. Chris Proctor waits on deck for the Barnstormers. ball, no strikes to Sandoval. The pitch is swung on and missed. Looked like a late swing there from Sandoval. Didn't know what to do. It's 1-1. 1-1 pitch from Ryan Blinton. Outside once again, 2-1. 2-1 to Sandoval. 2-2 tie in the eighth. Two errors in the game, both by Gastonia. The 2-1 misses outside to Sandoval. It's 3-1. So Blanton has fallen behind 3-1 to the first two batters he's faced out of the bullpen. 3 balls, 1 strike to Sandoval. Swing and a miss. Count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Sandoval. Blanton missing low as Sandoval takes a full count walk. I bring up Chris Proctor. Chris Proctor with a man on first base, trying to get a 1-out rally going for the Barnstormers. All the Barnstormers need is 1 run to take the lead in the 9th inning. First pitch to Proctor. Fastball strike. 0-1. 0-1, a man on first base, and Sandoval after drawing a full count walk. The 0-1 runner goes, throw down second is way off. Goes into center field. Sandoval on his way to third base. He'll get there, no throw. The Barnstormers have a runner in scoring position after Sandoval tries to steal second base, and the throw from Almeida gets into center, and he moves up to third. So a man on third and 1 man out for the Barnstormers. And Gastonia's going to have to wiggle their way out of this one. The third run of the ball game and potentially the winning run. If the Barnstormers get a save from the closer, is potentially on third base. 2-1 to Chris Proctor. Chad Setio on deck. Sandoval 90 feet away at third base. It's the Proctor's way outside, and Ryan Blanton does not look himself. It's 3-1 to Chris Proctor. If I was Proctor, I wouldn't swing at anything because Blanton's out of control here. The 3-1. Looks at a strike, questionable strike. It's full count 3-2. Send to Proctor. Barnstormer fans are hoping for a 1-out run, 1-out RBI from Proctor as he calls timeout. Whoever wins game 1 of the series has momentum. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Proctor. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss by Proctor. 2 outs. 2 outs and runner on third base. This has been the issue with the Barnstormers all season. They can't cash in with a man on third base and less than 2 outs. It'll be all to Chad Setio. First pitch. Swing and a miss, breaking ball. 0-1. 0-1 to Setio. Ryan Blanton trying to get out of a two-out jam. 0-1 to Setio. It's all up to him. Did it go around? I think he did. Yes, he did. It's 0-2. And the Barnstormers are in danger of running themselves out of the inning. This has been their struggle all night. I mean, all season. Excuse me. That ball gets away. Here comes Proctor. Sorry, here comes Sandoval. He'll score. Ryan Blanton throws a wild pitch. That gets all the way back to the backstop, and Sandoval will score. It's 3-2 Lancaster. What a way to get your third run of the game. What a way. That's a wild pitch. I guess that just got away from Blanton, but the Barnstormers will take it. 3-2, and all the Barnstormers need is 3 more outs to take game 1 of the Atlantic League Championship Series. Here's Chad Setio. Got a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Right there for a called strike. But all the Barnstormers need is 3 more outs. Yeah, they need 3 more outs, ladies and gentlemen, to take game 1 of the championship series here in Lancaster. We're on to the top half of the 9th inning. The Barnstormers 3 and the Honey Hunters 2. And a pitching change is on the way. Nick Duran, the closer for the Barnstormers, will check in here at the top of the 9th inning, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to game 1 of the Atlantic League Championship Series. We'll be right back right after this. We're back, and the Barnstormers go to their bullpen for the final time in this ball. Hopefully, it's Nick Duran was called on, and it's first pitch swung on and fouled back near the Honey Hunter dugout, and it's 1 strike on Eric De La Rosa. Nick Duran trying to close the door on game 1, the championship series. Trying to give these home fans something to cheer about. Trying to win game 1 of a critical the championship series. This is a critical game. De La Rosa swinging a miss. Swinging a miss by Eric De La Rosa. What a pitch by Duran. What a pitch by Nick Duran. Here it is. The 0-2. 0-2 popped up. Fly ball center field. Sandoval is there. He makes the catch, and there's one out. Bring up the heavy hitter and David Washington. Grounded out to the starting pitcher tonight for the Barnstormers, Brent Teller. His last plate appearance. Trying to tie the game up at 3. Heavy hitter and David Washington steps in now. Duran's first pitch is a cold strike down in the zone. Zone 1. Honey Hunters down our last 2 outs in game 1 of the Atlantic League Championship Series. The 0-1 pitch to Washington. Swinging a foul left side. Nick Duran has him 0-2. David Washington holds the bat up. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's the heavy hitter, and David Washington struck him out. And Alexis Solmade is the final hope in game 1 for the Honey Hunters. The Barnstormers are trying to go back to back. 2 championships in 2 years for the Barnstormers. This might be a good start in game 1 of the championship series. A pitch hitter. Looks like it's Scott Manea. First pitch is missing from Duran. Nick Duran needs one more out to close it out for the Barnstormers. The 1-0 is in there for a called strike on the inside edge. And it's 1-1. The fans here at Clipper Magazine Stadium are hoping for a strikeout. 1-1 to Scott Manea. One Duran grounded to shortstop. Coca throws over to Cordero, and that ends the ball game. The Lancaster Barnstormers win this ball game 3-2. The winning run came across on a wild pitch by Honey Hunter pitching. Thanks for listening to game one of the Atlantic League Championship Series. We'll be back tomorrow for game 2. Lancaster, Texas won 3-2. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow. See you tomorrow.